it's Slim here from Ross Leather and Wood again. I've been asked a few times about burnishing and how to get a good finish with your burnishing. Got a couple of examples here of some pouches that I'm making at the moment. If you have a look at these two here, one of them's burnished and one of them's not, obviously. The one with the furry edge is the one that needs burnishing. We're going to show you how to get the finish that the other one's got. So you've got a nice polished edge and it sort of looks like it's welded together. Yeah. Okay, so what you'll need for your burnishing is really you need your best stick to use is one of these here. You can get these here as well online. They're very good for getting into small corners and stuff like that. This one here, I get all my supplies from the Identity store in Matlock. It's a really nice family-owned shop in England, in Matlock, England. The other things you'll need is something to apply burnishing fluid, which this is the burnishing agent here, EcoFlow. You can buy that online or from the shop. And you get these little woolen daubers. These are really good for using. You can use a paintbrush, you can use a rag to put it on if you need. But so what you do is you get your one that needs doing, and you get a little bit of this on your cloth. So grab your little dauber. That's what I'm using. Like I said, you can use a paintbrush or a rag, and then you put a bit of your burnishing agent on, and then you get the surface nice and wet.
Okay.
So you get your surface all wet like that all the way around. You can reapply it as many times as you like to get the finish that you want. And of course, if you still like playing, because like I said, I find the burnishing quite therapeutic. It's quite a nice thing just to play with and sit around and do it. So what we're going to use to start with, though, is we're going to use the electric burnishing machine. I don't normally use the electric burnishing machine for one-off pieces, but for when I'm doing a lot of items, it's quite good to get it started. So you've got a lot of different sizes on the burnishing wheel. This is this burnishing stick, or on the end of the burnishing machine, is made of hardwood, so it's much better sort of wood to use for polishing properties. The burnishing machine itself's got a sanding block on the end for sanding up the edges if there's a bit of a bigger gap. But you've also, the burnishing machine comes this wheel, which is really good for sharpening your tools and stuff. With the burnishing machine, it goes up to level 6 in speed, but I find the best speed to use is 3. It's for the optimum burnishing. When you're burnishing, you don't want to hold it on too long. Keep on touching it and working the stuff in with your fingers. Making sure that it's not getting too hot, because if it gets too hot, the leather will go really hard and it won't burnish up as well, or if it gets too hot you could melt the stitching. But what I find with the burnishing machine, it's great to get a lot of stuff done quickly, but you've still got to finish things off with your burnishing stick to get a really nice finish. Some people will be happy with the burnishing finish on the electric thing and call it done, but I like to take it just a little bit further, and I'll show you why in a minute. As you'll notice behind the machine as well, I've got a board there because what happens if the board's not there and you've got your burnishing liquid on there, or agent, as you can see, it goes right up the wall. So you want to have something there just to stop that happening. Yeah. So as you'll see now, we'll come back to the light and the desk. As you'll see now, as you can see, that what the machine has done is it's given it a bit of a burnished edge, but it hasn't given an exact weld finish. Yeah. So what you can do is you can grab your big stick and you can give it some, get it on there, and you want to give it a good polish. And if it's not polishing up well, you can, like I said, you can add on the burnishing fluid as many times as you need until you're happy with your finish. So what I'm doing now with this here is I'm using the biggest part of the stick, and it's more so rounding it off, it's not welding it. But to get the welded finish, you use the flat edge of it, and you got to get it into a good position so you can get some really good pressure on there. And you can see that it's starting to weld together now. So you can see the difference in that straight away. Yeah. And obviously once you've done that, what it does is it highlights these edges and pushes them up. So you want to round those back off again. You can round them off with that or with that. Yeah. But like I said, you can just keep on going as much as you like, and it's quite nice to play with the burnishing, just to get it how you want it to, until you're properly happy with the finish. Yeah. Now with this little stick here, there's little areas like this here that once you've done your smaller edges here, finished off your smaller edges with your burnishing stick, it really doesn't do anything to that there. Whereas if you've got a nice fine burnishing stick, you can get into there and you can rock and roll it from side to side, and it really rounds it off nicely and gives it a nice antique finish as well. Same with this corner here. Yeah, you can rock it in and out to the sides until you're happy with the rounding off of it. And same with like a stitch line here that you can't get into normally with a bigger stick. You can also do this edge before you stitch it, which I have done, but you can do more to it, just to make it measure up with the quality of the other finish. Yeah. Okay. The other thing is, if you haven't got a burnishing stick on hand and it's going too difficult for you to get, you can just get a piece of dowel. That'll do a reasonable job, a similar sort of job. Obviously you want the dowel to be hardwood. If it's just soft pine, it'll never do it, and it just won't work. So you need a good hard. This is a birch piece of dowel, and it's pretty hard. Also with the stick, if you do decide to use a piece of dowel, make sure when you've got your piece at the length that you're happy with, that you sand off the edges and make them nice and rounded. Because if you slip off and it comes across your leather, it'll put a gouge in the leather, and you won't be able to come back from that. So just make sure that you round off the ends of your bits of dowel. Yeah. The other thing is you have this stuff here. It's Phoebe's knot edge. I use it on some things, but not everything. And you can get this is a black, you can get a brown, and you can get a clear as well. The clear would be quite good on these here if you wanted a shinier finish to the edge, but I like the antique finish on these knife pouches. But yeah, it's quite a nice stuff to use on like a black edge or something like that, around the edge of a wallet or something like that. Once you've used the knot edge, you let it dry for a while, and then you just give it a slight bit of burnishing, just really lightly, not too much. Otherwise, you'll damage the effect of the knot edge. Yeah. Okay, so that's that all burnished now, and as you can see, it's got a nice edge there. It's nice and looks like it's welded together. Gives it the antique look. Yep. Press the subscribe button on the YouTube video, then you'll get future videos that I make. And if you have anything else that you'd like me to make a video on how to do it, just let me know in the comments, and I can put any video together that you'd like to, if it's going to make your craft day a little bit easier. Thank you very much.